how to knit the Lacy Chain Stitch for the loom. For today's tutorial, you will need a knitting loom. Today we will be using the Kiss regular gauge knitting loom with one spacer in between the pins and the pegs, your knitting tools, and a ball of yarn. Today we will be using Manos Maxima worsted weight 100% merino wool in the color Chamomille. For this stitch, we will be using the following techniques: knit stitch, purl stitch, yarn over stitch, knit two together stitch, and the slip knit stitch. This stitch is worked over 16 stitches on a background of stockinette stitch. Row 1. Knit the first 5 stitches. The pattern then calls for a yarn over, then a slip knit stitch. When we create the slip knit stitch, it will make room for the yarn over stitch, so we are going to do that part first. Skip the next stitch and lift the following stitch off its peg. Slip the previous stitch onto the next peg and set down the stitch you lifted off on top of that stitch. Now yarn over the empty peg and knit the next stitch, slipping both stitches over the peg. This creates the yarn over stitch and the slip knit stitch. Next, knit the next 2 stitches. Then do another yarn over and slip knit combo. Another way you can do the yarn over and slip knit combo is by skipping the next peg and slipping the following stitch onto the previous peg. Then slip both stitches onto the next peg, yarn over the empty peg and knit the next 2 stitches off the following peg. This creates the same yarn over slip knit combo we did before, so use whichever one is easiest for you. Knit the last 5 stitches. Row 2. Knit all the way across to the end of the row. Row 3. Knit the first 3 stitches. Then knit the next 2 stitches together by slipping the next stitch onto the following peg and knitting them together. Then slip that stitch back onto the empty peg. Yarn over the next peg. Knit 1. Then do a yarn over slip knit combo. Knit 2 stitches. Yarn over and slip knit. Then knit the last 4 stitches. Row 4. Knit all the way across to the end of the row. Row 5. Knit the first 2 stitches. Knit 2 together. And yarn over the next peg. Knit 3 stitches. Do a yarn over slip knit combo. Knit 2 stitches. Do another yarn over and slip knit combo. And knit the last 3 stitches. Row 6. Knit all the way across to the end of the row. Row 7. Knit the first stitch. Then knit 2 together and yarn over the next peg. Knit the next 2 stitches. Then knit 2 together and yarn over the next empty peg. Knit 1 stitch. Do a yarn over slip slip knit combo. Knit the next 2 stitches. Yarn over and slip slip knit again. And knit the last 2 stitches. Row 8. Knit all the way across to the end of the row. Row 9. Knit 2 together. Yarn over the empty peg and knit the next 2 stitches. Knit 2 together and yarn over the next peg. Knit the next 3 stitches. Do a yarn over slip slip knit combo. Knit the next 2 stitches. Do another yarn over and slip slip knit combo. And knit the last stitch. Row 10. Knit all the way across to the end of the row. Row 11. Knit the first 2 stitches. Do a yarn over slip slip knit combo. And knit the next 2 stitches. Do another yarn over and slip slip knit combo. Then take the next stitch and slip it onto the following peg. Yarn over the empty peg and knit the next 2 stitches together. Skip 2 stitches and slip the third stitch over to the following peg. Move the previous 2 stitches over one peg. Yarn over the empty peg and knit the next 2 stitches. Then knit the 2 stitches on the next peg together. Slip the next stitch onto the following peg and yarn over the next peg. Then knit the last 2 stitches together. Row 12. Knit all the way across to the end of the row. Row 13. Knit the first 3 stitches. Then do a yarn over slip slip knit combo. knit the next 2 stitches, skip the next stitch and slip the following stitch onto the next peg. Slip the previous stitch over one peg. Yarn over the empty peg and slip the next stitch and knit the next 2 stitches together. Now pass the slip stitch over by transferring the stitch you just knit onto the previous peg and knitting off. Yarn over the next peg, knit the next 2 stitches, knit 2 together, yarn over the empty peg and knit the last 2 stitches. Row 14. Knit all the way across to the end of the row. Row 15. Knit the first 4 stitches. Then do a yarn over, slip, slip, knit combo. Knit the next 2 stitches. Do another yarn over, slip, slip, knit combo. Knit 1 stitch. Then knit 2 stitches together. Yarn over the empty peg and knit the last 3 stitches. Row 16. Knit all the way across to the end of the row. Repeat rows 1 through 16 until you've reached your desired length. And that's how you knit the Lacy Chain Stitch for the loom. Want more loom knitting tutorials? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow our blog at vintagestorehouse.com to get new videos and posts sent right to your inbox. Thanks for watching!